Ayusin lang natin ng konti ang ating camera. I think this is fine na. I think that's fine. So ayan, hello, good evening mga ka-scripters. Welcome to our pa-live. Medyo maaga tayo ng konti, 5 minutes. We're trying to make our live a little bit shorter because what we want to do is to condense as much as possible all the topics kasi we are going to be discussing the crown contenders for Binibining Pilipinas this year. And before we start with the main topic. Hi Ellen. Welcome to the pa-live. Attend muna dun sa mga nagha-hi hello diyan. So Ellen Gamboa, thank you for joining us sa ating live. And as I was saying a little bit earlier, today, or rather tonight, yung pa-live natin, we're trying to, as much as possible, to make it as quick as possible, make it as condensed within an hour or maybe maximum of an hour and 30 minutes because we have a lot of things to discuss because we are going to be discussing yung merits ng mga girls who are included in our list of crown contenders for Binibining Pilipinas this year. And I just wanted to reiterate before I start with the actual list that yung top 12 natin this year magiging duguan, it's going to be full of heartbreaking moments because with 12 na spots for the semifinalists, it's not going to be an easy because lahat tayo may mga bets na mga girls and with a very competitive na batch this year. There is going to be some front runners or maybe some strong girls that will be left out in the competition, and I think that's one of the things na nagiging consequence rather ng isang very competitive na batch is that even yung mga hindi makakapasok sa top 12, they're more likely to be thought of as strong girls who are capable of making top 12 on their merits alone. So let's see. Coach Erickson, hi, hello, kumusta? Coach is saying, Herelen, Nicole, Budol, for sure pasok sa top 12 and Hackett Awards, top 6, depende sa Q&A. I think magkakaalaman and deliberation of the judges plus the Binibini org overall. Okay, so I'm not gonna spoil muna kung ano yung mga thoughts natin about Herelen, but she's definitely one of the girls we will be discussing tonight. In fact, there is a point during the entire competition that I was ready to prejudge her na ibigay. However, during the month, nakitaan ko siya na unti-unti niyang inilalabas yung mga hihingi natin sa kanya in terms of refinement and finesse, and I will be talking about that a little bit extensively later on. May comment din ulit sa Instagram pala, may mga comments sa Instagram regarding the top 12 na cut na they are hoping na sana top 16. I am not pinning my hopes on that because when I was able to chat with a Binibini candidate, nabanggit nila na sa rehearsals pa lang top 12 na yung nare-rehearse nila. So I'm sure it's going to be a heartbreaking moment kapag nagkaalaman na sa finals. Now, before I jump off pala with the list, I have several pointers that I wanted to discuss or I wanted to say muna before mag-umpisa ako with the main attraction, kumbaga. And so, overall this year, I think that yung fight between the newbies, yung mga newbies sa Binibini, meaning girls like Roan, like Yana, girls like like Joanna Day, as compared to, let's say, yung mga repeaters na ng Binibini, like Jane Darren Henobisa, Gabby Basiano, Karen Laurie Mendoza, Graciella Lehmann. There is a sort of difference or perceived difference in the way we perceive yung kanilang campaign this year. Yung mga binibini newbies, whether they have pageant experience prior or not, I feel that the newbies are very strong on social media, that they're very amiable, personable on social media. What do you call this? More Mas madali silang kausapin on social media because they are building yung following nila for the pageant. And as compared to the repeaters na alam na nila kung paano laruin yung binibini, yung paano yung sistema sa loob, paano yung flow ng entire competition. So I think they're a little bit more relaxed. And yun yung I think contention ng ibang mga pageant pages that parang kampante yung mga girls this year na yung glam team na lang nila ang gumagalaw at sila mismo hindi na masyadong gumagalaw on social media or hindi na sila masyadong active on social media. So I think there is a lesson on both the repeaters and the newbies na sana yung mga repeaters, just to make their campaigns a little bit stronger, mag-effort din sila on social media to post regularly, engage with their fans, engage with their pool of followers. And then for the newbies naman, I hope that they can learn to observe kung paano yung gumalaw yung mga repeaters, especially yung mga veterans na sa Binibini, na alam na nila kung paano gumalaw, paano paikutin yung laro ng Binibini, and when and where to give off their energies, kung saan yung mga strategic areas kung saan sila dapat mag-extend ng focus. Ayan. Hello, Toffee. Ang aga mo, sir. Sabi mo 8 p.m. Yeah, I know. It's still 7:50, 7:45 nung I was setting up. Nag-live ako ng 7:55 just to make sure na I am able to start off yung some pointers that I wanted to say before we discuss the girls in my list. Ayun, so nasaan na ba tayo? Okay, point 5. I think this Binibining Pilipinas season, age is going to be a determining factor on the assignment of titles. Kung kaninong title mapupunta, ang Intercon, ang International, ang Globe at saka ang MGI, age is going to be a huge part of the deliberation process. Simply because I think karamihan ng mga international competitions ni Binibini Pilipinas this year, ang nagkakatalo is yung ceiling age. If I'm not mistaken, I think ang Intercon accepts candidates until age 27. So yung mga nasa 26 na yung age, very, very dangerous yun if they're aiming for Intercon. For those who are aiming naman for, let's say, international, they have to keep in mind, or rather, they would have to put into consideration that they needed to be younger by 1 year in order for them to be considered for the title, because ang mananalong Binibining Pilipinas International this year is gonna compete next year. So, isa yun sa mga medyo tricky this year, because in essence, if 28 years old ang cut-off ng age ng Miss International next year, then you should not be crowning somebody who is 27 this year, dahil baka pumasok siya doon sa danger zone ng age limitation ng Miss International next year. So they probably need to crown someone who is 26 or and younger for Miss Binibining Pilipinas International this year. And I think magiging ano yun, magiging sakit yun sa ulo pagdating ng deliberations. Ayun, so sa mga bagong salta, sa mga bagong dating sa ating pa-live ngayon, hello and welcome. Please, please hit the like button nung pa-live natin ngayon para mas marami ang makakita ng ating live session, and as well as subscribe po sana tayo dun sa mga hindi pa nagsusubscribe sa channel natin. We just hit a milestone on YouTube. We already had 1 million hits a week back, and then we already have around I think it's already around 3,100 and something subscribers. So please help me to grow this channel para mas lalong dumami tayo dito sa Sashes&Scripts na YouTube channel. Ayan, as I was saying, going back doon sa age as a determining factor for the winner, lahat ng mga girls na gusto nating manalo, whether they are front runners or they are newbies in the pageant or they are dark horses, we really have to evaluate yung age nila and yung age appropriateness nila doon sa mga international competitions na sasalihan nila. Because again, as I said, we have to crown somebody who is around 26 or younger for Binibining Pilipinas International, because we have to account the extra year that they will be waiting to compete in 2023. So, ano yung mangyayari ngayon with the year na kinakailangan gumagalaw sila? So, there is a new requirement, I believe, ng Miss International that they posted siguro a month or two back regarding sustainability or something that's connected with the United Nations on sustainable futures. Let's just check na lang for full clarity later on. But if may additional na requirement, then they can use that year, 1 year prep time, in order for them to be able to, create programs that goes along with the requirement. So it allows our rep na pagdating niya doon, meron na siyang body of work that she can present to the organization doon sa 1 year na wait niya. Now, I know lahat tayo parang nadidisappoint na bakit hindi lang yung bago ang i-appoint natin sumali this year. That would be unfair naman kay Hannah Arnold, who I believe is a strong competitor for Miss International, who could be our 7th Miss International even. So, wag naman nating madaliin yung proseso, kasi if sabihin natin na Nobyembre or December yung finals ng Miss International, there's only roughly around how many weeks? Around 3-4 months bago yung finals, and kinakailangan niyang bunuin yung panibagong requirement doon sa Miss International na org. So, huwag naman natin siyang madaliin. So, I'm hoping that we all give the new winner time to mature, time to what do you call this, time to build yung kanyang program for the new Miss International requirement. Ayan, let's check muna yung mga attendance. Coach Erickson, hello, nandito ka na. Vanessa Dancel, hello, kumusta? Taga saan si Vanessa? Nakaka-intriga yung apelyido mo. I think Dancel is somewhere in the Visayas. There, Papa Rain says, good evening, present po. Ayan, nagpa-attendance na. Okay, so, ano pa yung mga kinakailangan natin pag-usapan? Ano ba yung kinakailangan natin na parameters na pag-usapan ngayon in this live? Yung 12 girls na na nasa listahan natin is a little bit uh, a little bit um, it's going to be a little bit unpopular later on. Kasi meron akong mga idinagdag na mga girls na not necessarily very popular, and they're not necessarily girls na other bloggers are paying attention to, or even or given social media space. But I think there is potential for them as winners. And a lot of the girls na surefire na tinitignan ng iba na pasok sa winner circle, I put them on a separate list because what I am paying attention here with my list is not just magaling lang siya dapat sa kudaan or magaling lang siya dapat sa rampahan. It needs to be somebody na who ticks off the boxes in terms of face, in terms of physicality. Tingnan naman tayo. Ayan. As I was saying, kung proportion ba ang katawan, maganda ba yung bone structure, magaling ba sa pasarela? Kung magaling siya sa pasarela, does she have command on stage? Does she have control on stage? Or medyo magaslaw pa yung kanyang movements or matigas yung kanyang movements? So those are things na I am taking into account. And then, I also added yung mga girls who I believe na largely unnoticed by other pageant fans because I have experienced them talk. I have experienced them converse, whether it's in a casual manner or in a very serious na manner. I am able to base all of my I am basing my judgments based on ano yung nakita ko in person, ano yung nakita ng mata ko during the press presentation, because there are some girls na kahit na maayos yung kanilang pasarela sa press presentation pero hindi maganda yung takbo ng camera angles nila, hindi maganda yung rehistro because of the camera panning. Those are things na out of consideration, na hindi ko isinama sa consideration because yun yung problema kasi kung minsan sa live, especially on the press presentation, na yung mga maaayos yung lakad, hindi nakita kung gaano kapulido yung twirl or yung execution ng poses on cam. Iba pa din talaga yung nakikita mo yung mga girls na nagpe-perform live kasi hindi lahat ng mga strong moments ng mga girls is captured by the camera. Ayun. So now ano ngayon yung point ng primer for me? The primer for me is just a test on personality, a test of intelligence. I do not give 100% consideration on intelligence dahil at the end of the day, beauty pageant pa rin ito at malaki pa rin yung chunk ng beauty. So, kinakailangan balansahin natin yung mga nasa listahan natin with girls who can perform, who looks good, and who can speak, or at least intelligent enough and confident enough that they can deliver during the speaking segments of the Binibining Pilipinas pageant. So, that is why there will be some girls na hindi kasama sa listahan natin ngayong gabi but will be published later on in a different article on our blog site or rather under the Darkhorses na list. So ayan, check muna tayo ng mga attendance. Vanessa Tansel, good evening. Based po yun sa mom ko, Ilocos Norte, but born and raised in QC. Ayan. So, Vanessa, marunong kang mag-Ilocano? I'm hoping marunong kang mag-Ilocano because if your parents are based grew up in Ilocos Norte, then kahit papaano makasarita kami, diba, basit nga Ilocano. I'm hoping or makaintindi. I myself is from the north. I'm from Cagayan Valley in Isabela, and although I'm not Ilocano, I'm actually Ibanag. I can speak very little Ilocano. makasagita nakbaset, makaintindi nakbaset ngem hanak kami nga napiklan nga Ilocano kaya yung fluency ko nagfa-fluctuate when it comes to the language. Ayun. And then Roscoe. Hi Roscoe. Ano ito loyal natin na kaibigan ito sa pageants. He's from Guam and attendance check po. I hope I'm not late. No, you're not late. Nasa ano pa lang tayo, kumbaga sa course meal na sa appetizer pa lang. Appetizer pa lang tayo. And then we have Sir Ram. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to the live session. And Papa Rain, we must expect the unexpected in the coronation night. Correct. Because, again, as I said, 12 spots, 40 equally na beautiful candidates. Ang hirap mag-trim down, mag-narrow down ng sino yung ipapasok natin sa 12. So, whoever yung mga hindi makapasok, definitely it's going to be a heartbreak for them. I think this year, ito yung year na makapasok ka lang sa top 12, parang ang laki na niyang achievement. Much more kapag you have to narrow down those top 12 into a top 6. So yun, si Toffee's World saying na, I already have my top 12. Hirap, grabe. Hahaha. Agree. Mahirap talaga kasi iba yung competitive ng batch na ito and therefore because the girls are very competitive, maraming uuwing heartbroken because there are a lot of girls that we all believe to be deserving to make top 12. Ayan. So, umpisahan na natin siguro, no? I think that's enough pasakali, enough context before we discuss all our listahan. Okay, last muna na comment before we proceed this is from Roscoe. What I love about PPCI is that they always keep you on your toes until the crown is on the girl's head. It's always anyone's game and not just the front runners. Exactly. Kaya nga hindi pwedeng magpatumpik-tumpik hindi pwedeng pepetik-petiks yung mga front runners natin because there are a lot of newbies this year na pwede talagang manalo. Okay. So, we have 12 girls in our list because 12 naman talaga is yung hahanapin nating semi-finalists this year. But we will be talking about some front runners, some dark horses a little bit later in the live session. Okay, so umpisahan natin. The first girl that I want to discuss is Graciella Lehmann. Graciella is 5'6" inches tall. She's 24 years old. So, ibig sabihin, safe siya sa lahat ng mga titles ng Binibini this year. And when you are 25 or 24 and below, you're actually in a very, very safe na spot. Yun yung age na bullseye age na winning ages because marami kang pagpipilian in terms of which title ka mababagay. And as I said earlier, age is going to be a determining factor on which crown you will be eligible for and which crown pwede mong masungkit. And with Graciella, I think that at age 24, safe siya. She'll coast along into any of the titles, especially because yung age niya is a very safe age for any competition. Kahit na ma-postpone pa ng 1 year yung kanyang international competition, swak pa rin siya doon sa age requirement. Now, Graciella was a bit quiet during the entire pasensya na nagbabasa. Meron akong kodigo sa aking screen dito sa laptop in order for me to get to get my thoughts concise. Ayan. Graciella was a bit quiet overall throughout the Binibining Pilipinas pageant season. And when we thought na wala siyang baon na ipasabog, pagdating ng press presentation, pagdating ng National Costume Show, dun siya biglang naglabas ng kanyang mga alas. And I think that's a very smart. Mauubusan ka ng lakas kung bira ka ng bira. And I think Graciella was very strategic in the areas of the competition that she paid attention to. And with Graciella, what I really love about her is that she has a very strong stage presence, whether it's during the national costume show or during the fashion show, and during Jag Jeans fashion show and the press presentation. Si Graciella, swabe siya sa stage. Hindi niya kinakailangan ng masyadong maraming rekado. She knows, kumbaga she's a pro on stage. Technique and technical skills wise, wala tayong problema kay Graciella. And as you can see during her primer, turn sa primer, she speaks well. So I think it's safe to say that Graciella is going to be one of the girls na aabangan natin na kokorona this year. I cannot say for sure though kung ano ang magiging timpla ng mood ng mga judges this year, because up until now wala pa rin akong nahihining na mga chismis kung sino yung kukunin nilang judges. And with that being said, parang ang hirap tuloy na mag-assume on who are the most likely picks ng mga judges, because the judges really are very crucial doon sa selection process. And as you all know, Binibining Pilipinas, they're not very fond of having all male or just all female judges. We were told that SMA prefers a wide variety of judges na kinakailangan well represented ang male and female na mga judges sa panel, at kinakailangan diverse din yung kanilang mga background, because what Araneta and BPCI wants is a girl na can appeal to multiple audiences, na hindi pwedeng isang audience lang yung sineserve niya, because again, the title of Binibining Pilipinas is you are representing an entire country, an entire organization who has interests with different audiences. So going back to Graciella, I think the only thing that we are seeing that's going to work against her is yung 5'6" niya na height, especially if lahat ng makakasabay niya later on is going to be around 5'8", 5'9". As you all know, this year ang mga candidates, they're not arranged according to height, na kung sino yung gitnang number, sila yung pinakamatatangkad. This year, that idea was scrapped. Lahat ng mga candidates, they made sure na each batch of 10 candidates, may mga front runners, may mga strong girls on each, in each grouping of 10 girls. So, if mataon na masandwich si Graciella between two taller girls, I think that's going to be something that is going to be detrimental to her. So kinakailangan yung gamitin niya yung poise, gamitin niya yung suave niyang movement, yung angles niya, because Graciella, mas maganda ang katawan niya this year, and I think that in terms of stage presence, hindi siya mauubusan ng battery on that side. So she really needs to put all her her big guns up front in the competition. Now, as to what title do we see her in, naiisip na Grand International. And in my Crown Contender na article with her, I said it's MGI full stop. But now, I am also kind of re-evaluating if tama ba ako doon, kasi pwedeng nagkamali din ako na kinahon ko lang siya sa Miss Grand International. I am now looking at Graciella as a possible candidate na pwede din sa Miss Intercontinental. Okay? So, with Graciella's strong stage presence, and then she communicates well, I think she will be up to the challenge to succeed yung vacated title ni Cindy Obenita. And I think everyone should re-evaluate kung swak ba siya sa iba pang international na mga franchises ng Binibini. But for now, I am looking at her as a possible Miss Intercon or NGI na winner. Now, let's go to someone na who is very underrated among the Binibining Pilipinas girls. Wait, may mga comments na dito. Toffee's World, Graciella Lehmann, she's in my ninth spot. Toffee. Ivy, Nicole, hello, good evening. Well, hello and good evening, Ivy. Welcome to my channel. I hope you like the live natin ngayon para mas marami tayong mas marami ang audience natin for future na mga lives. Ayan, welcome and have a good evening. I hope na either kumakain kayo or nakakain na kayo bago nag-start itong live na ito. Precious Grace B says hello to everyone. Hi, Precious, kumusta? I hope na itong gabi na to hindi masyado mainit dyan sa inyo dahil dito sa amin medyo nag-alternate yung init yung humidity with the cool air na pumapasok, which I really agree. Especially pag makita niyo si Graciella in person, iba yung glow niya this year. Art Laurent, hi friend, sorry I'm late. Ayan, ako, at dahil dyan, kinakailangan mo magpa-milk tea sa lahat. Ayan. Hi Art. Art is one of the pageant friends that we've met siguro recently, around 2 to 3 years ago, I believe. And isa siya sa mga pageant friends natin na very opinionated. Ayan. Tapa Rain, Graciella for Miss Globe. Wait. Okay, ulitin natin. Nawala tayo bigla, di ba? Graciella for, Papa Rain says, Graciella for Miss Globe, magaling siyang kumada at may mga head-to-head challenge din sa so maybe pwede siya doon. Actually, Papa Rain, the only reason why I am not on Graciella on Miss Globe is that may nabanggit sa amin si Maureen about Miss Globe wanting tall winners. And when she said that, binanggit niya sa amin na during her batch last year, sabi niya siya daw yung pinakamaliit doon sa grupo nila. And considering that Maureen is already 5'8", naliliitan sila sa 5'8", then how much more sa height ni Graciella. Although, in terms of communications wise, I have no problem. I think it's just, finding the right girl for the Miss Globe na title. Ayan. Roscoe says, what's the likelihood of Graciella winning other crowns beyond MPI? My fear if she wins BBP Grand, she would end up like our former reps and not be present on finals night. What I'm banking on with Graciella is that hindi naman siya nalalayo sa height ni Elizabeth Clancy in MGI in 2017. So I am hoping na yun na nga madadaan niya ni Graciella yung MGI with her ability to perform on stage. Kasi I think that's the one of the key lessons na binanggit sa Kumu Live ni Samantha Bernardo during the primer pala. Dahil siya yung pinakamalit sa top 5, kinakailangan niyang magpursige extra on the performance aspect of the competition, which I think kaya naman ni Graciella. Ayan. Ravian, John G. Casada. Hello, sir. Pa-attendance po. Hello, Ravian. Kumusta? Good evening. And I hope na hindi ka masyado nahuli dito sa pa-live natin because we already started with Graciella in our discussions. Ivy Nicole says, alam natin kung sino ang mas bet ni Mr. Nawat, diba, guys? Ayan. President Nena says, gorgeous. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I think it's good evening from Netherlands. Based sa height ni Graciella, parang hindi siya okay sa MGI kasi di ba ang template nila doon, laging matangkad na winner. Kung 5'6" lang siya, baka maging issue na naman. yun kasi kay MGI because napaka-specific ng ano niya, ng requirement sa ano sa pageant niya. I mean, everything is all about the physicality of her of his pageant. So yun yung mahirap na um, mahirap na timplahin. Ayun. Nico version, late ka, correct. Pero sorry na, okay, sige, okay lang. Hello, Sir Jason. You're totally right about Elda Aznar being extremely understated. Hope she wins BVP Grand because she fits the mold, but she can certainly have other crowns as well. Choosy pa ba? Ayun. Okay, si Presidente na from Netherlands is saying, Sir, it's Groetjes. Greetings from Netherlands. Ayan. Ay, yung international na tayo ka. Kaloka. Ayun. So, going back to kay Nico, because the next girl na gusto kong pag-usapin is actually Elda. Because, alam niyo, si Elda, when we met her back in, was it 2020 or 2021? I think it was 2021. During, meet and greet of Meiji Cruz. Ayan. During the meet and greet ni Meiji, na-introduce initially sa amin si Elda. And she was, I think, competing for Miss Philippines Earth at that time. I'm not sure if it's 2020 or 2021. Hindi ko na maalala. But that is the first time that we saw Elda. Hindi pa ganoon swak yung styling niya eh. Medyo something's off pa sa overall styling niya when she competed in MPE. Pero nung nakita namin siya during the reveal ng mga pro media girls I think it's December February earlier this year, iba na yung ganda ni Elda. And she's very statuesque, super super tangkad na niya noong nasa MPE pa lang siya. Pero ngayon, iba yung glow, iba yung ganda. Na feeling ko, okay, there. As I was saying, kapag sumali ka ng binibini talaga, kinakailangan talaga lumevel up din yung ganda mo. And I think that's what happened to Elda. Mas maganda yung aura. The skin is, I don't know, much glowing. The hairstyle, much more appropriate. Tapos, iba yung tindig niya ngayon. There is something about the way that she stands that is so different from her stature during MPE when I first saw her. So, Elda is one of the girls that I am seeing a huge possibility, a huge potential to win. Kasi, si Elda kapag gumalaw, very queenly, very controlled, very trained. In some, to the fact that some pageant vloggers like si Danny, former Miss USA contestant, mentioned that she finds Elda a little bit too rehearsed, na parang Miss Venezuela rehearsed siya. I don't have a problem with that. Siguro a little bit more play on the expressions for Elda para mas mukhang authentic, hindi masyadong mukhang aral yung kanyang facial expressions. But those are things na pwedeng matweak, maayos in her training for the international competition. But what Elda possesses is a certain kind of stance and posture and poise na hindi mo madaling hanapin. To the fact that I think the only girl that just comes to mind right now when it comes to stature and yung ganung klaseng poise is Miriam Kiambao. I think Elda has that. Ang ganda ng bone structure niya, yung proportions niya, ang haba niya tignan. And it's probably just the finding the right styling para mas lumutang pa yung ganda niya. And if you haven't paying attention to Elda, Elda is actually one of the girls who has a very smooth and very, how do you call this? Very yung masarap sa tenga na tone of voice, yung I don't know how to describe it, yung suwabe pakinggan. Ayun, suwabe pakinggan si Elda kapag nagsasabi. giving it a little bit more command when she speaks by, you know, by modulating or controlling the pitch ng kanyang voice. And I think, you know, wala kang magiging problema on the communication skills because Elda, I believe, is one of the best spoken or well-spoken ng mga girls in Binibining Pilipinas this year. Now, she stands 5 foot, you know, 5'10" tall, and she's 26 years old, which is medyo on my end, kinakabahan ako if ilalagay ko siya sa Miss International. I would probably think of her as a follow-up for, let's say, Cindy in Miss Intercontinental. I won't have any problem with her in Miss Grand International as well. Although Miss Globe, konting tweak lang sa styling, she would even, you know, be perfect match for Globe. But again, may disclaimer tayo doon sa Miss Globe kasi I've heard it's an unverified rumors that Miss Globe prefers mestizas. That is why kung napapansin nyo, ang mga pinapadala natin sa Miss Globe, mixed yung lahi. Because one, Ann Collis, she has a very Eurasian na look with her. And then we also have Maureen na, I mean, kung ganda ang pag-uusapan, wala tayong pagdedebatehan. So, I am not sure if Elda would be the right face to put in that pageant. Although, I am confident na kayang-kaya ni Elda ang Miss Intercontinental. I am putting her at MGI because I think physicality-wise, wala tayong magiging problema kay Elda to fit the mold that the pageant there. Bumalik na kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng issues with the internet connection. Okay, Toffee says, Elda wowed me during the press presentation. Sobrang haba niya tignan. Unfortunately, di siya kasama sa top 12 ko. But di ako aarte kung makasama siya sa top 12. Biuta. Hello, Biuta. Ayan. Kumusta? Wait, nasaan na yung comment mo? Nawala. Ayan. After the Kumu primer, what are your thoughts about Binibining Kia Morena's chance of making it into the semis? I will be discussing that with the Dark Horses later on. May separate tayo na listahan for the Dark Horses that I will be publishing a little bit later on, but I will be tackling some of the girls in my list on towards the end of our live ngayon. Nico, 2021 she joined MPE. Grabe ang talagang improvement, nakaka-proud. Ayun. Wait lang, I just want to indulge Biuta with Kia. You know what I love about Kia is siya yung, alam mo kung may manika na morena, kung may porcelain doll na morena, si Kia yon. Ang ganda ng skin niya. Ang ganda ng pagka-brown ng skin niya. Kapag tinitignan mo si Kia in person, yung undertones ng skin niya is not actually bluish na katulad ng mga Africans. Her undertones looks very warm, very gold yung kanyang undertone ng kanyang skin. Kaya sabi ko, pwedeng sumira si Kia ng mga nangangarap maging top 12. And that is why, and that is going to be one of the things that I actually wanted to say. If there is a year na babasagin niya yung mga preconceived notions natin on our own lists, this is probably that year. Ayun. Clean game. Joanna Day is my dark horse. Yes, me as well. Internet connections talaga dito sa Pilipinas, medyo may issue talaga. Ayan. We have to remember, going back to yung commenting art, we have to remember na hindi lang dahil magaling ang mga performance nila Clancy at Samber kaya sa pinag-place, kundi kinakailangan niya ang Pilipinas kaya pinupwesa niya tayo to hype MGI. I agree din naman. Pero hindi niya talaga tayo papanalunin because hindi yun ang prototype na hinahanap ng MGI. Well, hopefully na mahanap natin yung timpla this year kung ano yung hinahanap talaga ni Uncle. Svetlana Gomez. Hi, Sir Jason. Hi, Svetlana. Ang napaka Eastern European ang pangalan mo. Okay, so do you think Karen Laurrie is still an MI contender considering her age? Pag-uusapan natin yan a little bit later on because may nakasalang tayong isang binibina na gusto kong pag-usapan. Karen is also within our list, so magandang discussion later yan with Karen. Art ulit, kaya ang dapat natin ipadala sa MGI yung talagang hinahanap ni Nawat. Yun ang problema kasi natin with Binibini because apparently walang ma-exert na control. At the end of the day, it's still the Binibining Pilipinas executive committee and the judges who will pick the winners. Hindi ang international org. Kahit na may pabulong na hinihingi si ganito o si ganyan, ultimately the decision is fair to the girls because they will always rely on the scores, on the judges' scores, and on the overall na sino talaga yung pumwesto, kumorona based on yung ranking nila. And then yung deliberation will only help narrow down to on which girls would be best suited on which pageant based on, pageant profile, based on age requirements and such. So, yun. Precious Grace B, I will be happy if Roan Tamondong snatch either MI or MGI, but to be honest, I would like to see her in MUP. Lakas niya siguro sa MU. Pag-usapan natin yan because everybody have Roan pegged in MGI, but I am casting a wider net for Roan. Now, Dorothy Jones, sino kaya ang out-of-the-box choices for International Grand Globe and Interco? Natingnan natin. So there. Next on the list, siguro it's time na let's jump in with the girls na hindi masyado natin pinagtutuunan ng pansin, pero kinakailangan natin bigyan ng how to say this, bigyan natin ng chance in our list because siya yung mga tipong mambubulaga na lang sa finals. And what the girl that I'm talking about is Yana Aduana. Okay, so si Yana, first ko siyang na-meet ever during the Miss Fit Philippines na I think it was the press presentation. And back then, hindi ko siya talaga binigyan ng pansin. Because at that time, I think I was more enamored with Fatima Kate Bisan. Because Fatima, iba yung ganda ni Fatima in person. But when I met Yana again, February of this year, iba na yung kanyang glow. Iba na yung kanyang there's something about her that is more glowing, that has a very winning aura, na sabi ko, itong si Yana, parang love child siya ni na Eva Talinhog at saka ni Mutia Datol. Pag pinag-combine mo yung DNA ng dalawang beauty queens na yun, you get Yana. Kasi ang porcelana ng skin ni Yana, nakatulad ni Eva, pero yung facial features niya is so very oriental beauty like Mutia. And ang tagal na rin natin na hindi nakatikim ng ganung klaseng ganda in Binibini. Ayan. A lot of our girls na nananalo lately are very mixed na either morenang-morena, either Caucasian, may lahi, hindi Caucasian, Eurasian ang features, but we don't have a very oriental look ng mga girls na talagang nananalo. And Yana ticks off yung need that we have an oriental beauty in Binibini. And I think, pag ihelera mo silang lahat, lulutang si Yana because iba yung glow ng kanyang skin, iba yung glow niya in person. So, huwag nating i-discount si Yana because Yana at age 23, at 5'7", plus lisensyado siyang medical laboratory scientist. Ang dami niyang pwedeng talking points with regards to either yung tourism video niya with Laguna, yung kanyang kanyang work as a medical lab scientist, and she can actually expand that with STEM na discussions, and this would be very very helpful for her if she is going to be sent at Miss International. I know that right now during I mean she was very very candid naman nung sinabi niya na she was eyeing talaga for the Miss Intercontinental title ng Binibini. But wag nating limitahan si Yana because I think she can also be one of the girls na pwede sa Miss International or even pwede rin sa Miss Globe. We haven't sent someone of Yana's oriental beauty in international pageants for a while now. So maybe it's time. Parang tama na yung panahon na mag-send tayo ng someone of her caliber. I would personally admit that Yana is a personal favorite of mine. Kasi, ganito yan. Nung si Sir Rogel, in-introduce ako kay Yana, syempre, during that time, hindi pa nila dinidisclose kung sino kung anong pageant sila sasali. So, medyo guessing game pa lahat kung sa MWP ba sila sasali or Binibining Pilipinas. But, Sir Rogel mentioned na ito si Yana, sasali siya ng Binibining Pilipinas this coming this year, sabi niya. So right then kita ko na kaagad na oh my God, si Yana may pagkamutya datol. So she's going to be an easy pick na mga girls who can make damage in the competition, who could na pwedeng sumira sa listahan ng mga pageant aficionados if they don't pay attention to Yana in the competition. So there. In terms naman doon sa kanyang weakness, I think yung weakness niya is that she does not have yet a fan base that would really propel her to as loudly as other competitors. But I am guessing na come finals night, maghahakot itong si Yana ng mga tao from Laguna to watch her compete in Binibining Pilipinas. So I am expecting na isa sa mga most cheered na mga girls later on is going to be Yana. She has the backing of the Laguna LGUs. So, tignan natin kung ano yung support na ibibigay ng Laguna sa kanya just as much as yung provincial support na ibinigay din ng I think it's Misamis for Cindy Obenita last year. So there. Okay, quick basa dun sa which pageant siya eligible. At her age, pasok siya sa 4 na titles. And then, in terms of yung title na best suited for her, I still am, open with discussions kung saan siya best na pwedeng iligay. Because right now, I can see here at Miss Intercontinental, sa International, at even Miss Globe. Ayun. Next, we have, who is next in our list? Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin si Roan. I think, lahat kayo atat na pag-usapan si Roan because siya yung girl na namumukod tangi na hindi mo pwedeng ikahon on one title lang. Dahil, ultimately, I believe that Roan is meant for competing at Miss Universe Philippines. I think yun yung end goal ng kanyang pageant career. At age 19, she has time. Ito problema sa sa internet connection napuputol. Okay, so talking about Roan. Roan is one of the girls na parang mas apt siya with, with an international competition of the Miss Universe caliber. Na yung pageant where her best assets could be served well is MU. I know that maybe Binibining Pilipinas is something that she is wanting right now for in terms of competing at the nationals. But I think Roan is capable of much more. I think Roan, ang mahirap kay Roan is at her age, gusto mo pa siyang i-reserva talaga for another pageant. But when we were talking to her during her press con, everyone in the media were convinced na pang MU yung beauty niya. And sinasabi ni Roan that right now, yung kanyang decision, yung kanyang heart is with Binibini. And I think that's, I think that's that's something that she really wants as of the moment. So, wag nating ikaila sa kanya na mabigyan siya ng corona in Binibini simply because we want her at Miss Universe Philippines. So, I think yun yung kinakailangan nating i-digest, yung kinakailangan nating pag-isipang mabuti as fans. Because at 19, marami pa siyang pwedeng opportunities ahead of her. But I don't want to deny her a crown in Binibini simply because, pwede naman natin siyang i-reserva. No. Kung deserve niya, pinagtrabahuan niya, ibigay natin yon sa kanya. That is just being fair. Now, in terms of physicality, Roan, ang ganda ng katawan niya ngayon, very well-toned. Nakita niyo naman doon sa kanyang mga pasabog na mga photo shoots doon sa mga crowns ng Binibining Pilipinas. Meron siyang meron siyang photoshoot as Madam Stella, as Maureen, as Cindy, as Samantha Bernardo. And I think among the girls, itong si Roan yung masigasig sa social media. Siya yung masigasig na magkipag-engage on her Instagram account. And I think, that is something na pwede nating pwedeng matutunan ng ibang mga girls, ibang candidates on how to engage with your audience. So, kaya ngayon si Roan hindi nawawala sa top of mind ng mga pageant fans because she is present doon sa social media platform where the fans are. Okay? Basa muna tayo ng mga comments. Okay? Nako, nandito tayo kay Precious Grace B. I always notice Lala Vinzol. Gigil na gigil. Konting training pa, may future yan. I agree. I think Lala is not in her best form right now. I think a little bit more polish would serve her well in the future for future participation. Toffee, Yana is actually my Miss Globe. She's so amiable, curvaceous, and super great skin. Got a chance to talk to her during the parade. Super nice, love her. Yun yung maganda kay Yana. Alam mo yun, yung simpleng post lang on any social media, na-appreciate niya, magsasabi siya or siya yung magte-take initiative na pupunta sa page ko, magko-comment ng thank you. I mean, that kind of attitude of gratitude, hindi, alam mong magandang pagpapalaki sa kanya. When you have a girl like Yana who is very grateful for any exposure, any kind words or good words extended to her, tapos ramdam mo yung appreciation niya when you meet her in person,
hindi ka mawawalan ng amor sa kanya. And I think that is one of the greatest assets ni Yana, yung energy, yung good vibes na nadidikit sa iyo kapag kausap mo siya. So yes, I really agree with you about about her being very very nice in person. Mario Sandro, for the win si Cebu, Nicole Borreo. I love Nicole with her participation in the primer na parang shocks. Ito yung girl na kapag nabigyan mo ng mic, um, mananampal siya sa kuda. So, yes, love Nicole. Roscoe says, Ilyana will be the most strategic bet for Miss International just purely because of her age and the type of beauty she offers. Yes, angelic, but a different type of angelic compared to Hannah Arnold. I agree. Kaya nga I would still, I would still consider her for a wider set of titles aside from yung kung kahit na gusto niya yung intercon, but I don't think natatanggi na ako at nauuhaw na ako. Isang oras na tayo nagsasalita dito. Nakayana pa lang tayo. Kumbaga, parang 4 pa lang or 5 pa lang ang nag-discuss natin na girls. So, I think overtime tayo dun sa 1 hour and 30 minutes na pinangako kong live. Ayan. Para dun sa mga nag-e-expect na sana 2 oras. So, wag naman sana. Okay. Simple lurker. International. Karen or Chelsea or Ilyana? Feeling ko magfa-factor ang age dito. Nabanggit ko na yan earlier. I believe it will be age is going to be something that we will be taking note of. Ayan. Dalawa sila sa Laguna, Sir Jason. According to Leo Guard, CG. Si Roan is representing San Pablo, Laguna, while Yana is representing the entire province of Laguna. So, just to give a distinction. MI si Yana, sabi ni Leo Guard. I agree. Pwedeng siyang sa Miss International. Roberta is a pageant unicorn according to Papa Rain, which is nabanggit na countless times about Roberta being so womanly that she can fit any title that can be given to her. Ayan, binibining simply lurker, Binibini Araneta City, possibly Miss Budol din niya makuha ang MGI. Pag-usapan natin yan later kay Nicole. We have insights with Nicole na I think we need to talk about because I think with Nicole there is something about her campaign that is pag nakita mo yung the way she thinks, yung the way she expresses why dapat siya manalo, bibigyan mo siya talaga ng consideration. Ayan. Dorothy V. Jones, the following girls I like, but this may not be their year. Natasha Jung, Ethel Abellanosa, Patricia Tan, Natasha for Globe, maybe. Toffee says, Rowan is my bet for MGI. Leo Guards also says, agree siya na sa MGI si Rowan. Simply Lurker also agrees, Roberta for MGI. Art says, I like for Yana and Rowan to win crowns. Of course naman. Same as me. Johnny B, who would you want to see po at MUPH? Sa ngayon, si Roan pa lang yung nakikita ko na among the Binibini girls na gusto kong isabak sa MUP. Totoo, Sir Jason, super bait ni Yana. Ayan. Roscoe says, Rowan screams MGI. If she can move like Samber, then she would definitely be our strongest chance to win our first Golden Crown. If BPCI wants to end the franchise with a bang, send Rowan to win the crown. Ayun. Simply Lurker says, Intercon, gusto niya si Graciella versus Stacy versus Nika, beautiful at makukuda. JV Viray, for me, Graciella is for MGI only. Toffee, my top 6 is Diana, second runner-up. First runner-up is Gabby. Globe is Iliana. Miss Intercon is Stacy. MGI is Roan. MI is Nicole. Hi Sir Jess, Gabby for Miss Intercon or Globe. According kay Karen K. Salinas. Michael Fernandez says, Sir, ba't di nag-i-improve production ng BBP at ba't hindi nag-i-improve production ng BBP like MGI at MUT? Hindi ko masasagot yan. We have to wait doon sa kung ano yung ipapakita ng ni Direct Alco for the finals on the 31st. But for sure, in terms of national costume show, in terms of the press presentation, ang laki ng diferensya. Especially sa aming mga nagko-cover ng live na event ng BBP. Chances of Karen Laurrie po, according Coach mo, kapit ka lang dyan, isa siya sa mga i-discuss natin in a bit. Miss Basiano will take one of the crowns, swear, according to Junli Bilitor. I think hinog na si Karen, si Gabby, si Graciella for a Binibining Pilipinas title. Benny Ang, Jashmin is my sentimental favorite. Hope she wins the crown. Rodvin Fiel, hi Sir Jason pa-attendance. Ayan, hello Rodvin. Welcome. Juminoto Bangshikaro says, may bagong corona po ba? 4 lang ang nabanggit. So, let's settle na 4 lang muna. Who knows? Baka sakaling magkaroon ng announcement na meron. I mean, anything can happen. Joseph Young says, I beg to disagree. Malaki na improvement ng Binibining Pilipinas last year compared to different years. Hindi pa din MUT or Miss Grand Thailand levels, pero nag-improve na. Sana mas maganda this year. Agree. Sunshine 2.0 says, hello, welcome to my channel. Ayan. Simple Lurker says, ang sakit sa ulo mamili. Agree. 12 lang kasi. Nagsiksikan sila lahat sa Binibining Pilipinas. Dapat nagpunta yung iba sa ibang pageant. Laban Albay, Laban Bicolandia. Ayan, according to Sunshine 2.0. Ayan. Nasaan na ba tayo? Pinag-uusapan na natin. So, tapos na tayo kay Roan. Now, I want to discuss a girl na hindi masyado popular. Na hindi masyado, how do you call this? Hindi masyado nabibigyan ng pansin in the competition. And she is Fatima Kate Bisan of Sarangani. Alam niyo si Fatima, when I first saw her sa Miss Fit Philippines, sobrang grabe yung rehistro niya on camera na ang ganda-ganda. Very pristine yung mukha, very ethereal yung dating. And very, very, how do you say this? Very amable yung kanyang ganda. Hindi siya yung ganda na mai-intimidate ka. Siya yung tipo ng ganda na gusto mong makalapitan, gusto mong makilala. And the only thing that I am afraid of for Fatima is yung kanyang height, which is 5'5" tall. Safe siya at the age 22 for any international competition. Another thing that I really like about her is that she is a licensed medical technologist. And during the pandemic, she served as one of our frontliners during that time. So, in terms of kwento, in terms of, ganda, wala kang magrereklamo kay Fatima. And in terms naman, doon sa kanyang proportions, she actually looks, well proportioned despite, being 5'5" in height. But ang pinakamalaking selling point ni Fatima is that she speaks well. Malumanay siyang magsalita, may command, yung tone of voice niya has a very sweet but at the same time commanding na tone when she speaks. And I think that is, that is one of the things that is so commendable about this girl is that when she talks, ganun ka ano ka kaswabe or ganun ka smooth magsalita si Fatima. Um, if she is given ample time, enough time to speak, to talk about points that is or issues that is relevant to to the conversation, meron siyang mahuhugot, meron siyang masasabi. So I think bigyan natin ng space in the top 12 itong si Fatima because she can deliver. Fatima, definitely dun sa 50% na beauty of face, dun siya isa yung mga kakana. Okay? Ayan, marami nang nagko-comment. Okay. Marami nang nag-comment. Let's back read ha. Sandali. Kent Mangoba. Am I the only one excited sa mga gowns? I mean, last year's Gabby Basiano's performance was iconic. Ayun. Kwenta. Reconnecting na naman. There. We're back. I think yung team ni Gabby is pressure doon sa pearl na gown na nagawa nila last year. Kaya nung I had the chance to make chika-chika with them, tinanong ko sa kanila, so anong kulay ng gown ni Gabby this year? For sure, kasi hindi naman kayo maglalabas ng kahit na anong patikim yan about her gown. And they jokingly said na pressured white nga daw ang kulay ng gown ni Gabby this year. Stress on the pressured na part. So I think very evident sa kanila yung tindi ng pressure because if you're not familiar with yung kulay ng apoy, the whiter it is, the colder the color ng apoy, the hotter it actually is. So we have red flame, red flame followed by yellow flame, followed by blue flame, and then white flame. White being the highest na color of heat. Kaya yung sabi niya na pressured white, it shows kung ano yung pressure that they under. Kaya I'm sure hindi lang si Gabby yung pressured because I'm part of a group who are discussing pageant gowns for some of the girls na they're asking, yung mga handlers ng mga girls na to are asking for input on the color or the cut of the gown, kung ano yung styling nila, and of course we give our advice very liberally for these candidates kasi they really need support. I think yung pressure na nararamdaman ng team ni Gabby hindi lang unique sa kanila yon. I think everyone in this competition ramdam nila yung pressure na mag-perform sila, kaya for sure yung mga gowns this year aabot ng milyon sa halaga ng mga lahat ng mga gowns this year. Ayan. Tapos na tayo kay Kent Mangoba. Zaldi Paulino, how about Karen? Hintayin mo lang, darating tayo kay Karen. Clarinda May Cortez, late ako. Sorry na lang kung late ka kasi backwatch ka na lang later. Kasi siguro we already discussed, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls. So medyo malapit na sa gitna. Ayan. Dustin Perelonia, Herelen for MGI, pag-uusapan natin yan later. Toffee says, alam ko kasi sa resources dito sa Philippines versus Thailand. Kasi if you compare MUPH and MUT, same stage halos, pero mas glossy pa rin ng MUT. So baka sa mga suppliers na kaya mag-provide ng mga top of the line na mga gamit, I think so too. Kasi if you compare naman if you compare naman MUPH with MUT, ang layo din naman talaga ng agwat ng MUT. And I think, again, it has something to do with kung ano yung mga available na technologies natin dito sa Pilipinas, ano yung mga available na mga equipments dito. Tama din naman yung binanggit ni Toffee about that. Michael Fernandez, ulo ko noong nasa BBP pa ang Miss Universe Philippines, pero ang laki ng kinita nila, pero hindi nabigyan ng fans ng Miss Universe level na production. Beshi Eric, Dark Horse, Cavite at Jasmine o My Four Crown. Cavite, Justine Punsalang is one of the girls na super kikay and funny and light yung pakiramdam mo when you talk to her. She has a very 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 good command of the Filipino language and very passionate siya being a journalist with her advocacy on advocacy against fake news on social media. So I think she is one of the girls na very captivating on an aspect. Saan na ba tayo? Love for Chill Movies. Let down si Patricia. Ganda sa pictures in motion. Nasa speaking ability. Needs to practice more. Sayang siya. Joseph Young. I think what Juminoto is asking for is may bago bang gawang physical crowns. I have no idea, Joseph. Juminoto, yung crowns mo, I am not sure kung may bagong crowns, but I am hoping na sana meron. Kasi last year pa na pinag-uusapan yung bagong crowns, and I think this is the right time na unti-unti na tayong mag-change ng mga crowns again. Pero I think wala, kasi pag meron dapat na-publish na-announce na, lalo na kung may sponsor yung crown. Okay. Simply Ricker, Dark Horse for me si Fatima Sir Jason. Sa totoo lang, huwag pakampante ang mga frontrunners kasi marami talagang lumalaban. Again, I agree because Fatima, as I said, is one of the girls na akala mo pepetics lang, pero actually may bubuga. Even sa bearing, even sa the way that she speaks, may ilalaban talaga si Fatima. Sir Jason, si Fatima gusto ko sa Miss World Philippines. Nung press presentation, na associate ko siya kay Megan yan. That's according to Toffee. Toffee's World. Clarinda May Cortez, who is the best speaker from this batch? Marami silang magagaling kumuda. I think Nicole Borromeo is one of those. I think CJ Opiaza is again one of the girls that has a good command of English. Yana can speak well. Karen needs a little bit more confidence when she speaks, but she also speaks well. Graciella Lehmann, definitely makudayan. Sino pa ba yung mga magagaling kumuda? Justin Punsalang. Ask her any issue, any topic that is trending on the news right now. Her point of view is always on point. So pag binigyan mo ng political question si Justine, she will attack it straight ahead on, and I think that's one of the reasons why we love her, kasi yung feisty na personality niya lumalabas talaga. Junlie Bilitor, for me my top 6 are Basiano, Tamondong, Chelsea, Diana. Sinong Diana? Dalawang Diana eh. May Diana Mackey, may Diana Mendoza, that's definitely si Karen, and si Miss Zambales, which is CJ Opiaza. Now, Simply Lurker says, for me, next year na lang ang bagong physical crown sabay sa 60th year para may pasabog. Hopefully, may bumalik na franchise. Okay, Simply Lurker, this year is considered the 58th na competition because nag-skip tayo ng 2020. So, next year is going to be the 59th. Yung 60th nila is going to be on 2024 there. What can you say about Graciella? Ano pang crown ang perfect? Gerald, na-late ka. Natapos na namin pinag-usapan si Graciella. Watch mo na lang yung replay para maka-move on tayo ng pacing natin dahil it's mahaba-haba pa tong pag-uusapan natin. Gabby Basiano may tendency malapia words back according to Simply Lurker. I think that's because kapag tinignan mo yung swimsuit na tawag nito na glam shot ni Gabby is ganun na ganun yung post din ni Pia nung 2015 or 2014. What can you say about of course, gusto ko makuha, ayan, Simple Lyric says, but of course, gusto ko makakuha na rin ng crown si Gabby. Agree. Dustin Perlonia, Herelen, Nicole, Budol for MGI. Rodvin Fiel says, hi, Sir Jason. I think the pressure na yan possible na maging down. Okay. Sir Jason, I think sa pressure na yan, possible na maging downfall ni Gabby. Kasi parang she's having fun as much. Pageants should be fun except sa mga candidates. I hope tama yung basa ko doon. Junlee says, top 6 niya daw si Gabby, si Diana, si Chelsea, si Roberta, si Graciella, at saka si CJ. Actually, Joseph Yang says, based on the primer I saw hosted by Nicole Cordoves, I'm actually expecting a better Q&A segment this year. Pero from ni Binibini Cavite kay, what do you call this? Kay Justine Punsalang. I think Justine, isa siya sa mga pwedeng bigla na lang susulpot sa sa finals, na pwede siya na maging how do you say this, maging panira, yung mga surprise girls that could what do you call this, that could na pwedeng mag-steal yon, that could steal a spot from the more popular na mga girls. So there. Next comment is, Sir Jason, who's your Cindy for 2022? Sino ang lalaman sa Q&A this year? Top of mind ang nakikita ko si timer ha. I think nandyan si Justine Punsalang, si CJ at saka si Cole Borromeo. Art Laurent, alam niyo kung paano Tagalog. Art Laurent says, alam kung paano lalaban ni Herelen iyo since pinupush niya ang pagsagot sa Tagalog. Okay, Sunshine, 2 points, halos lahat well spoken in English. Okay, Lou AJ says, late ako. Pasensya na, Lou, nag-start kami 5 minutes before actually the 8 o'clock na pa-live. So, nakita niyo naman nagkakaroon pa tayo ng issues sa internet connectivity. Rewatch ka na lang ng replay later on. Okay? Svetlana Gomez says, I watched discussion about Nicole Borromeo's chances on top 12. We all know she was not able to participate in the press presentation. Will this affect her chances in entering the top 12? I think it will play a huge part, but I think what will play a huge part is yung kanyang pasarela skills. I think there is still a lot of things that is wanting on that aspect na kinakailangan niyang ayusin. Gerald says, sa tingin niyo po ba makakapasok si Herelen sa top 12 since wala raw fan voting or wildcard sa Binibining Pilipinas this year? Actually, that's one of the things na was told earlier this year sa amin ng isa sa mga tao sa Binibining Pilipinas na wala ngang fan vote this year. So, magiging pahirapan talaga ang pagpasok sa top 12 because so little spots but so many equally deserving na mga girls. Lou AJ says, may chance ba na bumalik ang MW? I think masaya ang MW sa poder ni na ALV, so wag na muna natin gambalain yon. Kapag hindi na sila masaya doon, then saka natin pag-usapan kung lilipat sila sa alumang organisasyon na available ngayon. Ano pa ba yung mga comments dito? Kasi yung iba, nauulit na lang. Sino yung napipisil niyo for Binibining Pilipinas Grand International na title? There's at least a handful of girls na I think pwede na mag-fit dun sa molde ng Miss Grand International. New crowns po ba? Any tease regarding Sunday's event? I don't think magpapalit tayo ng Corona this year. Ayun. I don't think yung mga designs ng mga crowns papalitan. But kung magpalit man sila, well and good, di ba? I think it's high time na magpalit sila ng Corona last year, but I think yung reason sila is habang nasa pandemic tayo, parang it's too frivolous to to change crowns at that point in time. So, yon. Now, sino na nga pala yung nasa ating listahan na pag-uusapan? Ayan. I think ang next na pag-uusapan natin is, I think ang next na pag-uusapan natin is si Jash Dimaculangan. Okay? Jash is one of the girls na Jash Dimaculangan. Okay? Jash is one of the girls na I think hindi natin binibigyan masyado ng pansin. We don't see her as a threat. We see her as a competitor, but we don't see her as a threat, which is a huge mistake to undermine her. Kasi if you look at yung evolution ng performance ni Jash from last year to this year, mas in control, mas may command na siya on stage as compared to before. If you compare her performances sa mga previews sa mga regional and local pageants na sinasalihan niya, pasabog, parang maraming unnecessary na mga movements ang katawan ni Jash. Sa mga previews na mga competitions niya this year, mas refined yung movements, or rather mas in control siya dun sa movements niya, mas may command siya on stage. Kumbaga, there is a certain impact and power na she is delivering on stage when she walks na hindi kinakailangan ng a lot of extra movement. Ayan. Jash is also one of the girls na a little bit on the fence kasi she's 26 years old. She is still, what do you call this? Is still eligible for all titles for Binibining Pilipinas. And ang maganda din kay Jash, aside from, very pretty na face, is that she's also 5'8" tall. So, matangkad si Jash. And yun nga, ang sinasabi ko parate is that she has a very strong presence on stage, with a good command and control. Kumbaga, ng katawan niya, there are no wasted in the way that she presents on stage. Kaya, ang maganda kay Jash is that ngayon, mas aral na niya kung saan siya dapat magpasabog, magbigay ng extra spice sa kanyang performances. So, what is the crown that I see or I envision for her? I think yung Binibining Pilipinas Intercontinental na crown. I think that's one of the... Ayan. Okay, basta ulit tayo ng mga comments. Laban Josh, sabi ni Sunshine, naman po ang MI. Not necessary na sobrang galing sa P. Sunshine also says na mga ganong beauty ang kokoronahan, Josh. Ayun. 25 pa lang po ata si Josh. Okay, so if she is 25, because for looking from yung mga previews niya ng mga records, she was I think 25 last year. So I don't know kung ano yung age. So if she's within the 25 to 26 na age, then she is still, within the safe age range for all titles. Okay? Very improved si Jazz ngayon, pero aminin natin, nasapawan siya ng mga newbies ngayon. Natatakot ako sa mga repeaters from last year kasi baka wala silang makokoronahan sa linggo, sabi ni Papa Rain. I don't think naman na totally wala. I think there will be some girls na repeaters nga na pwedeng biglang makitaan mo ng corona. Ayun. Coach Erickson says, based on pre-pageant activities, I guess Herelen Budol pasok na pasok sa top 12. No need for fan votes. Hapat Awards din sure. Top 6, not sure. Her fate lies on the judges sa Q&A. Okay, so bilisan na natin to kasi medyo gahol na tayo sa oras. Let's now talk about Karen Laurrie Mendoza. Okay, since nandito na rin lang naman tayo doon sa usapan na pinag-uusapan natin kung sino yung mga pagpipilian natin for Miss International, I think Karen is one of the girls na everyone is looking at for the Miss International title. Now, the problem lang with Karen Laurrie is that she is 26 years old this year. If next year pa siya sasali, and if I'm not sure kung kailan ang kanyang birthday, and I think that will play a big role on the title that she will get in what do you call this, in Binibining Pilipinas this year. Kasi kung 26 siya this year at hindi siya magto-27 this year, then she's very safe. Pero kung magto-27 siya this year, or later, anytime later this year, tapos magko-compete siya next year at age, I am afraid that the Binibining Pilipinas org might not be as forgiving or might be afraid na sumugal kay Karen. Yun yung pinakamalaking takot ko. Kasi I'm not sure kasi kung ano yung birth date ni Karen, date of birth ni Karen, kung this year mag-27 siya. Kasi yun yung fear ko sa Miss International this year, na kinakailangan kumuha ka talaga ng mas bata because of the 1 year na gap on the requirements. But sali lang but physically wise, at 5'9", wala kang problema. Si Karen is one of the girls that I believe to have one of the best, if not the best, siya yung best face ng Binibining Pilipinas this year. Although, I think Yana can also compete with Karen on that. I think this year maglalaro ang Miss Photogenic between Yana and Karen. So let's see kung anong mangyayari diyan. What I like about Karen is that ang titignan mo lahat ng mga candidates and weak on others. With Karen, she can talk. With Karen, maganda ang mukha. With Karen, maganda ang katawan, matangkad. With Karen, may certain aura about her that is very swak na swak for any international competition. So with Karen, I believe she would be a good contender for any of the two back-to-back na challenges for Binibini this year. So either Globe or Intercontinental. Again, with Intercontinental, we need to be very technical about the age with that kasi hanggang 27 lang yung kanilang age limit. Kung magko-compete si Karen this year sa Miss Intercontinental and she's turning 27, safe pa rin siya. Wag lang next year, kung magta-28 siya next year. So, I think Karen would fit very well with Intercon, with Globe, and with Miss International. So, I think it would be safe to say na this Binibining Pilipinas competition na ito, one of the crowns, any of the crowns, is Karen's to lose. Kasi I think sure in siya sa top 6. Ganun ako ka-confident sa chances niya na manalo this year. I'm not very vocal on social media that I support Karen. Pero alam ko that Karen is the girl na hindi ka ipapahiya kapag siya ang nagrepresenta sa Pilipinas sa ganun kalaki ang tiwala ko kay Karen. So, let's read comments. Okay. Ito na. Svetlana Gomez, Simply Lurker says, Karen's aura for me ay mala Edimar. Svetlana Gomez agrees with that. Simply Lurker says, Karen, baka mapunta sa intercon due to age factor. I think Globe yung pinaka-safe for Karen. Kung age lang naman ang pag-uusapan. Although, I wouldn't have any problem with her as long as pasok siya sa age requirements ng MI at saka ng Miss Intercon. Okay, isabak si Karen sa Miss Globe ngayon kasi baudlot na naman ng MI. Nako, September ata birthday niya. Baka ma-over age na siya next year according to Papa rin. Oh. Okay, if September ang birthday ni Karen at she's turning 27 this year, baka it will limit nga yung magiging possibilities niya sa crown if hindi ganun if the Binibining Pilipinas pageant will be playing safe. Pero kung September naman siya mag-turn ng age, if next year, September this year mag-27 siya, safe pa rin naman siya kasi 28 naman yung age limit ng Miss International. So I think Karen swak pa rin siya sa age requirement ng Miss International. So, hindi ko, kumbaga, I'm not gonna remove her from contention for the Miss International na title because alam ko, age-wise, papasok pa rin siya. Ayan. Hipon for the win, according to Danica Rabelas. Ayan. Karen has one of the most, okay, Toffee says, Karen has one of the most beautiful faces in this year's Binibining Pilipinas. Kaso lang, parang Vicky Rushton noong 2018 na medyo half-baked ang mga movements. Okay. I think with Karen, she needs to stop holding back yung kanyang presentation because I think yun yung na-misinterpret natin as being timid or half-baked yung mga movements. I think siguro, ito I am just assuming, pero tingin ko yung may mga candidates this year na na dahil gusto nila ng Binibining Pilipinas International na title, medyo nag-hold back sila sa pasarela on stage. Lou AJ says, Karen, for MI pa din, please. It is like letting Vim Rushton compete at MI. Toffee's World, based on my research, August 28 po ang birthday ni Karen. Okay. Wait lang. Tama ba? Birthday ni Karen yung sinasabi mo, Toffee? Yung August 28? So, there. Either way, if she's turning 27 this year, papasok pa rin siya sa age limit ng MI. Okay. Yes, B-Day. Tama nga. Okay, sige. Since marami nang nagtatanong about Herelen, let's now talk about Herelen Nicole Budol. Herelen is one of the girls na polarizing yung mga nakakagigil talaga ang internet sa Pilipinas. Galing, bilis-bilis, kakaloka. Okay, so let's talk about Herelen kasi very very academic itong yung stand ko on Herlen's chances of winning because medyo polarized ang mga fans sa kanya. There are those na parang all in for her to win. There are those na may reservations. With Herelen, initially, ang assessment ko sa kanya siyang magseryoso. But all of that, nabasag when I've met Herelen during her press meet and greet. Kasi, there was a moment in her press meet and greet na hindi niya kinakailangan baguhin ang sarili niya, but rather bring out aspects of her personality that is more appropriate for the pageant. It's like you already have an idea of who she is, but then i-elevate lang natin kung sino siya. Kumbaga parang it's only refining what's already there na not training, but rather polishing what's already there in terms of her personality, in terms of presentation. Kasi with Herelen, I think that it will be an authentic naman kung babaguhin natin siya just to fit the pageant mold. There was a point during her press presentation na binanggit niya na bakit hindi ba pwede na ang beauty queen, maging beauty queen ang isang katulad niya. And I think that is a conversation where we need to be very inclusive with how we define beauty. How we define who or what is a beauty queen. Kasi kung ikakahon natin na kinakailangan aral, kinakailangan kumilos, kinakailangan ganito or ganyan ang isang beauty queen, then we are limiting kung sino yung pwedeng maging beauty queen. And I think we need to open up our, you know, our definition of who can be a beauty queen. Kasi kapag inalis natin yung ng karapatan, yung ibang mga girls na hindi swak dun sa molde ng isang beauty queen, then we are essentially, you know, saying no to hundreds to millions of girls na nangangarap din maging beauty queen in the future. So I think, you know, representation matters. I think that there should be representation of beauty from all walks of life, whether they come from a poor or a rich family, a well-educated family, or a family that needs, you know, that hasn't had the same, you know, educational opportunities as others, para mabigyan natin ng bigger concept, wider, you know, understanding of what a beauty queen can be. So I think Herelen, when I was, you know, when I was lucky enough to, you know, converse with Sir Gio, especially kay Sir Gio at kay Sir Rogel ng Kagandahang Flores, what they said to me makes sense. And in essence, yung binanggit sa amin is ayaw nilang baguhin kung sino si Herelen, kung ano yung pagkatao niya. Just so may ipasok natin siya doon sa definition natin kung anong okay, there. Where was I? I think I was okay. So just to, you know, to wrap up my point on her is that we don't, you know, Sir Gio and Sir Rogel said that they don't need to change who she is. They just need to enhance what's already there. Kasi she has the potential. Yes. With all due respect naman with Herelen, ang bilis niyang pumick up, ang bilis niyang matuto. And I think, you know, 1 year, 6 months from now, or 6 months from now, in an international competition, iba yung magiging transformation niya. And I think, right now, the only thing that kinakailangan na puspusan niyang ginagawa is yung the way she delivers her answers. Kasi yun yung area na binanggit ni Sir Rogel at saka ni Sir Gio na dun sila tumututok ngayon in order for her to, you know, to be able to be comfortable speaking about issues. And I think, you know, that is a great way to enhance what's already there rather than to change a person's, you know, overall look, overall personality just to fit what is expected of a beauty queen. How about we get someone who is out of the box na beautiful? Okay? Excuse me. Medyo dry na ang lalamunan ko at 1 hour and 30 minutes na tayo nagsasalita. Okay. Ayan. Dustin Perolonia asking kung gaano kalakas ang isang Herelen Budol sa chance niya sa Corona. Ayun, nasagot na kita doon sa pagkahaba-haba kong sinabi. Roscoe Paeste, love Karen. So elegant, so sophisticated. That face can launch 1,000 ships. The Mikimoto crown and the red robe would look so lovely on her head. Roscoe, and to everybody, I think Mikimoto is no longer the crown creator for Miss International. They've mentioned it that there is going to be a new crown. So, to be honest, I actually wanted sana na wag na silang magbagong crown. I hope that they would reestablish their sponsorship, crown sponsorship with Estelle Jewelers, the one who made the crowns of Bea Rose, nung batch ni na Bea Rose at sa kanina Lara Kigaman during their years. So, hopefully sana naman bumalik yung dalawang horse or dalawang the horse and the lion crown na na tawag nito ng Estelle Jewelers. Simply Lurker says, tama sir, look at Janicel. Suwabe ang pasarela pero Binibining Pilipinas International. No need to hold back. See? Dustin Peralonia, most authentic and genius person sa mga vlogs, super relatable si Herelen. Toffee, Herelen can breeze through top 12. Di ko lang sure sa top 6. Sana luck is on her side come finals night. Dustin reiterates that if destiny, mananalo si Herelen. Ayun. True. New generation of queen indeed. Ayan. Ano pa ba? Papa Rain, sana nawala yata. Okay. Papa Rain says, for Miss Budol na fan base at pre-pageant act, pasok na siya sa top 12 if she performs well. Papasok siya sa top 6 if she's lucky, makukuha niya ang MGI. Ayun. True, baka may luck talaga, sabi ni Dustin. Grabe, sir, kudos sa mga analysis mo, sabi ni Simply Lurker. Again, these are things na naiisip ko because siguro sa sobrang babad ko na rin sa pageantry. I mean, I've been doing this since 2013, kaya siguro may mga areas ng pageants na nakikita ko na hindi nakikita ng iba. And I think that's good in the long term because any conversation, any intelligent conversation, is something that we should cherish, especially with pageantry. Toffee says, marami akong kakilala na from impoverished upbringing pero may finesse. Agree. Coach Erickson says, nice thoughts there for Herelen Budol. Anyway, win or lose, Hipon already make a mark as an influencer. Sharing her blessings to the less fortunate already make her a queen with or without a crown. Yun naman yung gusto ko naman kay Herelen. Hindi siya put on. Hindi siya, how to say this? Hindi siya yung nakamaskara kapag nakikita mo siya. What you see is what you get. And I think Herelen is one of the girls na you're hoping for her to win because gustong mo nung hindi ko ma-explain. There is a part of me that hopes for her to win because she would champion a pageant girl who does not have all the luxuries of life. Na trinabaho niya yon na sumali siya because meron siyang kwento na gustong i-share. And I think yun yung how do you say this? Nakakahanga. Yun yung hinahangaan ko sa kanya. Na alam niya na she's not the mold. And yet, here she is, improving herself day in, day out. She's like a sponge that absorbs everything that is being taught to her. Ang laki nung nakita mong improvement from the Binibining Pilipinas parade to her the way that she talks and speaks now. Parang parang magandang subaybayan yung kanyang journey. Ayun. Toffee's World, authentic ang pinaglalaban, ang physical features niya enhance nila, pero yung demeanor di ma-enhance, parang hindi nagko-connect. Lahat naman ng girls may enhance, that's natural, sabi naman ni Dustin. Okay, so I hope everybody is content na with yung discussion natin with Herelen. Let's now move on to girls na bigla na lang nang gulat nung presentation. And I'm talking about CJ Opiaza. CJ,
is 5'6" tall. She's 24 years old. She's a freelance model and host. Kaya, pwedeng manampal ng panalo itong si CJ kasi despite despite yung pagkamorena niya, magaling kumuda din si CJ. She is so capable, very capable on stage. And alam niya kung paano kilitiin yung imagination natin mga pageant fans with her performance on stage. Isa sa dun sa mga girls na super strong sa rampa, and alam niya yon, alam niya na alam natin yon, and I think she can leverage that with with a strong performance and a possible win in Binibining Pilipinas this year. Now, with that being said, what I am a bit of worried for her is that she has a very particular look na nababagay sa kanya. Kulot or straight man ang hair niya, pero yung fierce na look, yun yung I think trademark look niya na it works for her. I have yet to still see CJ in a more ethereal na makeup na bumabagay sa kanya. I think having enough versatile looks is something that any pageant queen would be lucky to have. And yun yung kinakabahan ako kay CJ. I hope that her team would be able to experiment if ever na manalo siya this Sunday para magkaroon naman ng different personal siya on the international competition later. Kasi I think wala na tayong pwedeng hingin kay CJ when it comes to the performance aspect. I think it's just the other areas of the competition that needs to be enhanced or needs to be polished. Kasi sa styling, dun ako nagkakaroon ng kaba with CJ because she can only pull, it seems that very limited yung pool of choices niya whenever she's being styled for any event. Ayun. Now, let's talk about I think ayun, there we go. Pag-usapan naman natin ngayon si Yana Mackey. I think ang nakikitang problema kay Yana Mackey was that we were so expectant of her to deliver, like very on point na looks day in, day out, na pasabog parat based on yung kanyang unang release na photos. However, parang ewan ko kung kung watered down by her team or galing sa kanya mismo na mag-hold back, na simplehan yung kanyang styling, na hindi that they don't rock the boat too much, because I think that is a disservice to Diana's capabilities. I hope gets nyo yon kung ano yung ibig ko sabihin. Kasi sayang nandun na yung oportunidad na magpakitang gilas, pero parang nag-hold back siya, or she was advised by her team na mag-hold back. I don't know necessarily kung ano yung problema or ano yung naging conversations nila, but parang nakulangan ako doon sa performances ni Diana na ipinakita niya kung gaano siya kagaling during the Santa Cruzan. Siya lang yung namumungkot-tangi sa mga girls na umawra-awra sa harap ng stage, sa harap ng mga press. Paglabas pa lang niya from the Araneta Coliseum na waiting area, with her pink na Santa Cruzan outfit and the doves in her dove props in her hands. And sayang yung opportunity na start niyang binild up, and then parang invest na mag-accelerate, parang nag-decelerate yung speed niya towards the middle and towards the end of the competition, to the point that yung mga ibang girls na newbies, mas nasasapawan siya ngayon. I think it really is
wasted opportunity. But I am still hopeful that come finals night, makikita natin yung performer na si Diana. Makita natin na she will be able to leverage yung 5'8" na height niya, yung experience niya in front of the camera, yung experience niya with PBB na kaya niyang makipagsabayan kapag kailangan. Kasi ito na yung pagkakataon na you should give enough or more than enough in order for you to stand out in the competition. The finals night is not the night for any of the competitors to hold back. It is not the night for any of the girls to say na ilalabas ko ang full energies ko sa swimsuit competition or sa evening gown competition or sa Q&A. Ilabas mo lahat ng kaya mong ilabas on every stage na nasa harap ka ng mga judges in the entire competition come finals. So yon, I am very hopeful still for Diana Mackey, but I am also encouraging her na bigay todo niya the way na nagbigay siya ng pagkaganda-gandang performance during the Santa Cruzan. This is not the time for her to pull punches. In fact, this is the time where you really you stop with the kid gloves and get on with the program. Kaya niyang ipanalo ito. I just think that yung sana makitaan natin ng fire sa mata niya na lumalaban ngayon. Okay? May mga comments na. Okay. Papa Rain, CJ Opiaza for MGI. Okay. Sandali lang ha. Let me just ang aking eyeglasses. At hindi ko mabasa yung mga comments. Okay. There. CJ Opiaza for MGI or MI. Nakikita ko sa kanya si Janice Lubina. Pag hindi pinalad, pwede siya sa Supra next year. Bucanera kasi siya, kaya I think ready na siya in any major international pageants. Agreed. CJ is independent po yata. Same observation din. Fierce siya palagi. Nevertheless, crown contender according to Simply Lurker. Again, I'm not saying na hindi na wag siyang mag-fierce. If that is the look that works for you, then by all means gamitin mo siya. Try to have a variety of looks para hindi manawa ang mga tao na isa at isa lang yung kara na ipinapakita niya. Ayun. Rosco says, CJ is the performer that I'm excited to see this Sunday. I think so. I think we're ready to send another Morena at Miss International. Mataas expectation kay Diana Mackey. Siguro nag-hold back siya talaga. Sayang. Papa Rain, Diana Mackey was Miss Philippines Earth alumna 2015, I think. Super fresh and young niya that time. Sana after that, sumali na siya agad sa Binibining Pilipinas. Ngayon kasi, natatabunan na siya according to Papa Rain. I don't think na natatabunan siya. It's just that nauungusan lang siya talaga ng ibang girls na mas agresibo, na mas for the lack of a better word, na mas palaban. Okay? So I think we just need to lit the fire under her para maggising-gising si Diana. Rosco says, I hope Diana did well enough to make top 12. This year is not the year to hold back. Si Dustin may chika daw. Ano daw ang chika sa COVID? Okay, I think it was last night na nagkaroon ng issue, lumabas on social media that there are 2 or 3 candidates who rumoredly contacted COVID. However, there was a screenshot from a member of the Binibining Pilipinas. Let's sa mga candidates ang tinamaan, and And sila na yung magsasabi that they are excusing, the girls from competing. So, yon. Nawala na yung aking binabasa kanina. I am Rosalio. How about Binibini 10, Fatima, Bisan? Nauna na po namin diniscuss si Fatima earlier. I hope na you can just backtrack with the live or replay, watch it on replay na lang later. Ayan. Sir, laban ni Cyril pa yung mo Dark Horse, sabi ni Hamza Don Aden. Actually, she is also one of the girls na I am putting on my Dark Horse list. So, abangan nyo na lang yun later. Okay? There are several girls na I am looking at na hindi as crown contenders simply because they pretty much laid low during during the course of the Binibining Pilipinas competition, that hindi mo nakitaan ng masyadong malakas na waves, but you can feel that there are ripples that they are able to create in the competition. It's not as visually impactful as the waves created by other girls, but the ripples are strong enough and sustained well enough, no, na it would be ill-advised not to notice these girls. Okay? Yun, Simply Lurker. Cyril Payumo is a crown contender din. Bakit kaya hindi siya na-hype ng matindi? Yun na nga ang problema eh. That is the reason why nasa Dark Horse list ko si Cyril. Kasi nga, hindi siya, there's no hype surrounding her. Where in fact, she is the tallest in this year's batch. She's 5'11". And siya din yung isa sa mga ang ganda ng mukha in person. So, I think, it is a disservice to see her not getting the attention that she deserves in this competition. M is asking, attend po ba si Madam Stella sa Sunday? I have no idea. Hindi ko siya natanong actually sa mga tao sa Binibini. I think this season, this pageant season ng Binibini, baka kasi hindi nagpapakita si Madam. So I am hoping na makita natin siya sa finals, pero I'm not taking I'm not expecting it. Ayun. Sino po prediction nyo for MUT? Ibang usapan yan. Hintayin mo na lang, Dustin, kasi marami akong gustong sabihin about MUT na ayaw ko idagdag dito sa palive natin sa Binibini dahil aabot tayo ng 4 na oras. Yun. Okay, so I think we've done Yana, we've done Elda, we've done Graciella, tapos na rin natin si Fatima, si Diana, tapos na rin. Si Karen, si Josh, si Nicole, Herelen Nicole Budol, si Roan, si CJ. I think the last 2 girls na hindi pa natin napag-uusapan, finally, malapit na matatapos tayo, is Gabby and Chelsea. Ayan. Medyo medyo mabilisan na tong discussion. So, unahin natin si Gab. Gab, kapag kinakausap ko siya, tinatanong ko siya kung pressured pa siya na manalo this year because having been first runner-up last year, I'm sure the pressure is on her to perform well. Sabi niya, she is trying to enjoy the entire process so that if in case na things don't go her way, at least na-enjoy niya. And I think that is a very commendable thing to say, especially for someone na naging kapalagan niya yung first runner-up. Kasi if you don't know, Gabby, when she competed with, or rather competed in Ambassador and Ambassadress of the Philippines way back in 2018, pinadala siya sa sa Miss Friendship International, and she was first runner-up back then. And then, sumali siya ng Binibining Pilipinas in 2020, which culminated with her, ending as first runner-up during the finals in 2021. So, medyo, this time naman, gusto naman natin kumorona na si Gabby. So, Gabby is 24 years old, which means she's so safe in any of the competitions, age-wise. And then she stands 5 foot 9 inches tall. She is one of the most beautiful faces in the Binibining Pilipinas batch. And one of the things that I really like about Gabby is that she is very versatile. You can style her as tree, you can style her as virginal and innocent. You can style her any way that you want. Short hair, long hair, kaya niyang i-pull off. Straight hair, kulot, kaya niyang i-pull off. And I think that is one of the things na magpapanalo kay Gabby. Because kapag yung ganyang kalibre ng girl na matangkad, maganda ang proportions ng katawan, very versatile, has good command on stage, and can speak, can communicate din naman. I think Gabby is one of the girls na asahan natin na would make top 12. And hopefully, kumorona. The improvement in Gabby's manner of speaking is very evident doon sa interview namin sa kanya several, I think around June this year, where we talked about paano yung naging preparations niya for Binibini. And doon sa primer, nakitaan mo din siya na she is thinking sa mga questions, and then she gives, very sensible answers. Hindi kinakailangan super maboka or super makuda yung sinasabi niya, but she heeds, the advice to her na when nagkausap kami, months back, sabi ko sa kanya, Gabby, hindi mo kinakailangan na masyadong maraming sinasabi when you answer question. Go directly straight to the point. Huwag kang magpaligoy-ligoy pa, because the more that you speak, or rather, the more that you keep the conversation going on, the more na pwede kang magkamali. Again, because there is a 30-second time limit, kinakailangan you're able to deliver your thoughts in a very precise and very short amount of time. And that's why ang advice ko sa kanya, when she speaks, when she answers questions, go directly to the point. Sabihin mo na kaagad kung ano yung punto mo, kasi kung nagpaligoy-ligoy ka pa at nirekaduhan yung sagot mo, there is the danger that maligaw ka doon sa punto mo. So and when she was asked about dun sa primer, kung mawalan siya ng sense o mawalan siya ng eyesight for 48 hours ba yun, or 24 hours, the genius that she did there was that pinersonalize niya yung question. There. Ang sinabi was, gusto niyang makita ulit ang huling makita niya is yung picture ng mom niya. And that kind of answer, yung type ng answer na isinagot niya, kumukurot siya sa puso. And I think that is one of the things na kinakailangan niyang dalhin come pageant night. Now, the weak area ni Gabby is that kapag kinabahan siya, she can lose her train of thought, and I think yun yung naging weakness niya in Binibini Pilipinas 2021. So I'm hoping na na-address na niya yon, because sayang kasi Gabby, with her height, with her beautiful face, pwede mo siyang ilagay sa Miss Globe. Pwede rin siya sa Miss Intercontinental because she's 24 years old. Pasok pa siya doon sa 27 age limit ng Intercontinental. Pwede mo rin siyang ilagay sa Miss Grand International because matangkad siya. Maganda din wala tayong magiging problema sa kanya at Miss International. So yun yung maganda kay Gabby. Versatile yung beauty niya, that a little bit of tweaking on the styling na part, she can go with any of the 4 crowns of Binibining Pilipinas this year. Now, last but not least is Fernandez, or actually Chelsea, niya sa amin nung press meet and greet niya na people who are really close to her call her lovely, kasi yun yung nickname niya when she was a kid. So let's talk about Chelsea, kasi nilast natin si Chelsea kasi siya yung girl na lahat ng mga tao ang nakikita sa kanya is Miss International. And you know what? I was able to talk with a current reigning Binibining Pilipinas queen nung tinanong ko siya kung sino yung nakikita niya for Miss International. Chelsea is one of the girls na nabanggit niya. And for us as well, we agree with the assessment that I think she was going to be a great rep for Miss International. One, matangkad siya. She's 5'8". Pangalawa, ang ganda ng hulma ng katawan niya. Meron siyang boobs, meron siyang balakang, meron siyang puwet, maganda yung kanyang muscle, very maamoy yung mukha. But kapag tinapangan mo yung makeup, kaya din niyang i-pull off. So I think Chelsea is one of the girls na everybody is hoping na hindi magkamali or hindi kabahan sa Q&A. I think with Chelsea hindi amable, I think you would want her talaga for that title. Having met Chelsea in numerous occasions, aside from the Binibining Pilipinas, events, we also met her press presentation. Chelsea has a very sweet demeanor na alam mo yun, na hindi mo makikitaan ng attitude, hindi mo makikitaan ng parang pagpagod siya, hindi mo nakikita sa mukha niya. And I think that's one of the reasons why love siya ng mga fans. Love siya ng mga tao behind her, kasi parang ang gaan niyang kausap parate. Parang wala kang stress kapag siya ang kausap mo. There is something about the intonation of her voice na parang sing-song yung kanyang pag siya ang nagsasalita. So I really am looking forward for her with one of the titles. Hindi siguro heartbreaking sa akin na hindi makapag-uwi si Chelsea ng Corona this year, kasi sayang. There is something so winnable about her demeanor na hindi siya threatening, kumbaga, kapag lapitan mo. Kasi there are beauties, there are girls na kapag makita mo in person, parang habang tumatagal, nai-intimidate ka kang tignan yung girl. Si Chelsea hindi ganon. Very warm yung feelings na associate ko sa kanya. And I think a lot of the fans, would really appreciate her more kapag they get the opportunity to engage with her. Ayan. The only weakness na gusto kong mawala kay Chelsea is yung kung minsan meron siyang moments na shy siya, na medyo timid siya, na medyo, alam mo yun, there are times na nagiging unsure siya din sa sarili niya. But, I told her during her presentation press meet and greet na, girl, sa ganda mong yan, may nahihiya ka pa. Bakit ka nahihiya when you are so gorgeous, you're so beautiful? I know that there are insecurities at play na only a woman can understand. But when I had been able to talk to her, I try as much as possible to build her confidence up kasi I see in her a winner. And I hope na yung confianza na yon, she would keep in mind up until the finals night. Kasi the danger with Chelsea is that kapag she overthinks things, baka mamaya she will doubt herself. And I think yun yung sana hindi mangyari. Because I think Chelsea is one of the girls na talagang meant for competition abroad. Ayan. Let's read some comments na para we can wrap this up in 15 minutes. Ayan. Kailan ba ang coronation night according to Rickler Detalia? Rickler, it's on July 31st around, I think it's 9 or 10 p.m. It will be available in A to Z, in Kapamilya Channel 7, in Metro Channel, and also in the YouTube channel of Binibining Pilipinas. I think they're also going live on PTV5. Ayun. Manila 27 with double N says, present sir. Ayan. Sayang, late ka na. Medyo patapos na tayo nang dumating ka. But still, hopefully, hindi maging issue yung replay later on pag pinanood mo na siya dito sa YouTube. Jeff Osteria, hello. Roscoe Paeste says, since she's very vocal of the crown she wants, what are the chances of Gabby winning Binibining Pilipinas International? She has a very similar look to Hannah Arnold, though she can fit any crown given to her. Tulad nga ng sinabi ko, the strength of Gabby is her versatility. She can fit any of the crowns possible, and I think yun yung winning formula for her. Art Lawrence says, guys, relax lang kayo. Maski hindi na-hype ang mga manok nyo, ang importante ay nagpe-perform ng maayos sa closed-door interview, press presentation, and most importantly, sa finals night ay kumabog. Hoping for Cholo says, hoping for Gabby to get one of the crowns. Tofi is asking, aside from yourself, who do you think is the best pageant vlogger analyst that we should watch or follow if you want to get pageant updates? Di pwede ang safe na answer. To be honest, ako, I'm looking at the content na pinopost ni na Adam, ni na Tita. I know those two don't see eye to eye, but I am friends with both of them. Kaya na-appreciate ko yung different perspective. I think as you grow older, especially in my age, na-appreciate mo na may mga tao na iba yung perspective nila on the same things that you are looking at. Yan. Art Laurent, Cindy Benita is a living proof of that. She won her national and international titles because she really delivered a very good performance. Ayan. Yeah, I agree kay Simply Lurker na minsan sa photos, rumehistro si Vicky sa mga pictures ni Chelsea. Pero actually in person, ibang magkaiba talaga sila ang mukha nila. I agree na pang MI din talaga siya. Huwag na lang kabahan sa Q&A. Basta confident ang sagot. Agree. Janet Rian de Gala, thoughts on Nicole Borromeo, Sir Jason. Okay, ayan. Janelle, pag-uusapan na natin ang mga dark horses in the competition. The two girls na I think for sure papasok sa top 12 but are not included in my crown contenders list is Nicole Borromeo and Annalena Lacrini. Why? One is that both girls, hindi ko pa nakitaan ng very strong na pasarela as compared to, let's say, CJ Opiaza, Graciella Lehmann, Roberta Tamondong, Chelsea Fernandez, Gabby Basiano, Elda Aznar.
kapag itabi ko yung mga pasarela nila, yung performance na nakita ko sa kanila, doon sa 5 nabanggit ko, ang layo ng diferensya. Yung national costume presentation ni Nicole, left me wanting more kasi nagyugyug lang siya on stage dun sa kanyang pasarela, and even yung kanyang jag jeans na show, it was not as strong as I would have hoped for. Ang strong area niya talaga is on, on the speaking part. So I am still, in high hopes na papasok sa top 12 kasi once nakapasok na top 12, I think it would be easier for her to make top 6. Ayun, another girl that I really want to mention dun sa ating listahan ng Dark Horses is Jashmin Punsalang. Guys, I think let's not dismiss her simply because of yung hindi siya ganun kapopular. Because I think Jashmin has one of the most impassioned na advocacies, and when you talk to her about yung mga issues, you really would get your money's worth in terms of perspective from a reporter, from a journalist. And I think yun yung isa sa mga pinaka na-appreciate ko with Jashmin, because she is able to channel wit, intelligence, and humor all at the same time. Kinakausap mo siya. And that is a very rare combination na hindi mo makikitaan sa lahat ng mga girls in Binibining Pilipinas this year. I think that is a deadly combination that only Jashmin can deliver. Okay? Another girl just balikan lang natin si Jashmin for a bit before we move on. The things na Nicole, Annalena, and Jashmin have in common is yung presentation skills, yung technique and technical skills. Yun yung areas na kinakailangan nilang pagtuunan ng pansin, because those are things na hindi pwedeng wala ka, or hindi pwedeng kulang ka, or hindi pwedeng hindi mo pagtuunan ng pansin in a pageant, na hindi mo pwedeng ipasintabi na hindi, magaling naman ako kumuda kaya doon ako magre-rely. That is not the right thinking. That is why in the 12 list of girls na pinili ko for the Crown Contenders list are girls na ticks off yung beauty of face, yung ganda ng katawan, technical skills on stage, and technique and refinement on delivering their pasarela, as well as ability to speak, ability to communicate. Kasi hindi pwedeng hindi mo pagsamahin lahat yon, kasi ang criteria of judges covers all 4. Remember, beauty of face, beauty of figure, poise and personality, and then intelligence. Lahat yan magkakasama sa judging criteria ng Binibining Pilipinas. So it cannot be that kasi malakas siya sa pasarela kaya ipapasok mo siya. Ito malakas sa kuda kaya ipapasok mo siya sa listahan mo ng 12. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Kinakailangan they tick off all 4 areas of the competition. Kaya yung mga dark horses ko, some of them either does not have the technique or the technical skills na in their twirls, in their poses, na matigas ang katawan sa rampa, or needs to have better facial transitions on stage, or they're not hyped enough, or they're not having the attention enough. And doon papasok si Cyril, because siya yung ang ganda-ganda, ang tangkad-tangkad, lumalamon sa stage, pero she does not have the machinery behind her to propel her to frontrunner status. And I understand that. Hindi mag-connect sa akin that we have an international winner here with Cyril, and yet
fans are not rallying behind her to make her popular in social media. Pag tinitignan niyo yung mga hot pics, wala siya doon sa 1 to 7 na tier. She's always somewhere in the middle, and I don't get that. I don't get why. Kasi when I look at Cyril, heto na lang. Cyril, kapag nagkaanak si Selena Jaitley na Pinay, ang itsura si Cyril yon. Ganun ko siya na-appreciate as a competitor. I think Cyril, it would be a waste if hindi natin siya bigyan ng chance at the top 12. I think the reason why nabanggit ko earlier this year, this live, na lahat tayo will have a heartbreak moment kapag natawag na yung top 12 kasi napakaliit nung spots na available for such a wide range of women. Ang gaganda and worthy na maging winner. Kaya kahit na top 12 yan, nanamnamin yan ng mga girls na makakapasok ng top 12 kasi ang laki ng it's more than 20% yung more than 50% yung makakaltas sa kanila. So there, another girl that I really want to discuss is Stacy Gabriel. She's not very popular, but she performs on stage. She actually has a face that reminds me of Valerie Weigman, a younger version of, or probably a younger sister of Valerie Weigman. And she is one of the girls na she has a very, very outgoing and very infectious na personality na hindi ka pwedeng tumabi sa kanya na hindi mag-rub off yung energy and yung good vibes niya sa'yo. I think with that kind of personality, it would be really very what do you call this? It would be very interesting to see, her as a Binibining Pilipinas queen. Now, a lot of fans would comment na sayang 5'5" lang siya. But again, there are girls na kahit na 5'5", 5'6", akala mo nasa 5'8", 5'9" ang katawan. Case in point, si Lara Kigaman, who despite her being only 5'5" or 5'5" and a half, 5'6" inches tall, akala mo nasa 5'7" or 5'8" siya because the body proportions are there. Lara Kigaman has long legs and short torso, kaya kahit sabihin mong i-round off natin to 5'6" ang height niya, she still looks taller than that. So yun yung the same thing that I get with Stacy, because personality wise talaga iba yung energy ni Stacy. Nakakahawa yung energy niya, and again, she is one of the girls na sana mabigyan ng pagkakataon at the semis. That is why, at the back of my head, I know that a lot of us is saying na kulang yung top 12. I am resigned to the tail at the back of my head. I'm still clinging to the faint glimmer of hope na sana damihan nila, na sana mag-top 15 naman tayo. Yon. Okay, we also have 3 more girls. Tama ba? Yeah, 3 more girls na quick lang nating daanan because malapit tayong mag 2 hours. So, Anne de Mesa. I don't understand kung bakit hindi siya napapansin ng maraming fans, because pag titigan niyo si Anne de Mesa, yung face niya has that Angel Aquino na vibes na namumukhaan ko siya sa kanya. And in some cases, parang sa biglang tingin, parang, oh my God, parang may pagka-Ariela Arida din itong si Anne. Siya lang din yung girl among the candidates na ginawa niyang trademark yung liad pose na pa-side view na parang Pilita Corrales ang labas niya, pero modernized. So I'm really very happy seeing her in Binibining Pilipinas, and I hope sana mabigyan siya ng opportunity to make top 12 kasi iba din yung ganda ni 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 Ann kasi napaka-Pinay pero at the same time very cosmopolitan, very international yung ganda niya. Yan yung tipong kahit sinong foreigner matataypan siya. Ganun yung ganda yung ganda ni Anne. And she also is able to talk and speak quite well. She's, I believe, around 5'8" tall. So, wala yung magiging problema tayo sa height. Then, let's now talk about si Kia Moreno. Okay, si Kia, this is for you, Buta. Kia is one of the girls na hindi ko napansin. And that's on me. Hindi ko nakapansin during the entire Binibining Pilipinas na pre-pageant schedule. But the moment na nakita ko siya during the national costume reveal niya, doon ko napansin na, my God, super tad-tad ng beadwork yung kanyang national costume and yet lumulutang pa rin yung ganda ni Krisha. Yung pagkamorena niya, it really suits her. And I think this is yung kasi pageant veteran itong si Kia. And this is the best that I have seen Kia so far. Kia can communicate well. Kia has really gorgeous na brown skin with gold undertones dun sa kanyang skin tone. But I don't know why fans don't pay attention much to her. Maybe wala siya nung makinarya that other girls have, but I am hoping na sana, with Binibining Pilipinas being nawawala. Ayan, I'm hoping na mabigyan ng equal opportunity yung mga independent girls, yung mga girls na hindi ganun ka-popular to make semis. Okay? And then, finally, we have Joanna Day. She's one of the ladies who made our list na pretty. Sobrang pretty. Kumbaga, I think she was one of the girls na we mentioned to be on the top 10 list of the best faces in Binibining Pilipinas this year. And nakitaan natin na nag-perform siya dung primer. She coasts well when it comes to the other pre-pageant activities, whether it's the national costume show, the drag jean show, or the press presentation. She was not lagging behind, but she was not in the lead. She wasn't the leader of the pack either. So she was coastingly well somewhere in the middle. But during the primer, medyo umangat siya sa kamalayan natin because she communicates well. And the fact that she is a marine biologist, another STEM girl, in the competition, then we need to start, normalizing mga girls who have careers in the science and technology field to be more appreciated in the national pageants, because we really need to have a wider and more diverse set of candidates. Kasi hindi tayo pwedeng nagre-rely lang sa mga models, sa mga social media influencers in getting candidates for competitions. Kinakailangan meron din silang wealth of knowledge that they can bring into the table, bring into the conversation, bring into the title. So yan, yes. On the dot, it's actually an hour and 29 minutes and natapos tayo doon sa mga discuss natin ng mga girls. I know yung ibang girls, gusto ko pa sanang habaan yung mga discussion point ko sa nila, but unfortunately, masyado nang mahaba yung ating discussion ngayon. So now, let's just read some of the comments before we wrap it up. Roscoe says, it's time for Chelsea to represent the Philippines. Send this pageant unicorn to an alpha pageant. MI this Sunday. Wink, wink. Ayan. Simply Lurker, sa KF Insider Preview, okay naman ang Q&A ni Chelsea. Walang problema sa pasarela, performer din. Memorage speech naman sa MI. Sila talaga ni Karen ang MI for me. I agree. I agree with that. Parang tingin ko it might be safe to assume na MI ang pinupuntirya ng dalawa and sila yung magiging close call na laban for the title. Stacey Cruz, any updates sa mga nag-positive na girls? Again, based on yung clarification ng Binibining Pilipinas last night, or yesterday, wala naman daw nag-negative. So, ayun. Cholo, sino sa tingin mo nasagot ko na yan earlier. Pasensya na back read or back view. Review ka na lang walang wildcard this year. Tanong ni M, hindi pa nag-o-open ang voting. Walang wildcard this year. Walang voting, walang fan votes this year. Roscoe is asking 2 questions. Okay. Should BPCI adjust their ceiling age in order to have all girls be eligible for the pageant offered? Is there a runway winner this year's batch like Kat in 2018? Okay. Question number 1. I don't think so. I think pag binabaan nila yung age limit nila to, let's say, kung ang pinaka mababang ceiling age is, let's say, 27. I don't think na kinakailangan mag-adjust ang Binibini because meron namang Miss International na allowed nila ang 28 years old. Merong Miss Global na allowed nila ang 30 years old. And Miss Grand na I think 27 din or 28 din ang age limit. Ayun. There is no runway winner this year. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, kasi it goes to show how competitive the batch is. Last year, walang Hakot Awards. Iba na ng special awards, sabi ni M. Okay. Rie Francisco, hello po, magandang gabi din, Rie Francisco. I hope na you were able to join us a little bit earlier para na napanood mo yung mga discussion points natin earlier this evening. Okay. Simply Lurker, last comment. Thank you, sir. Naging stress reliever ko itong pa-live mo. Salamat sa updates at magandang analysis about pageantry. Ingat po palagi. Thank you din. Especially what happened last night and earlier today. Huwag na nating ungkatin yun. Ayan. Ria Francisco says, i-rewatch ko na lang mamaya. Sayang. Okay. Yes, please do. And don't forget to like and share din yung itong pa-live natin para, mas marami pa yung makapanood. Ayan. I think we've covered all the points. I think there's nothing left in my checklist na kinakailangan pag-usapan. Thank you sa mga napasensya yung halos 2 oras na chikahan natin. I apologize. I promise that it's going to be just under an hour. Pero napasarap yung comment section natin. I tried as much as possible to read all your comments kasi ayoko naman na nag-effort na nga kayo hindi ko pa basahin, di ba? Ayun. And thank you really for joining me tonight. And especially because itong weekend na to, next time na magla-live siguro tayo, baka meron nang nakwakanahan. I will probably schedule a live session later on kung after the pageant na, kasi I will as much as possible try to dig in on some behind the scenes na nangyayari sa Binibining Pilipinas. I will be there covering the pageant as invited na media. So accredit this is actually Binibining Pilipinas is the only pageant that nag-effort ako na magpa-accredit. So ayun, namnamin natin yung mga nangyayari doon sa loob during the finals. Okay, huling mga shoutouts. Lynn Parcon Official, shoutout daw kay Lynn. Ayan, hello Lynn.
magandang gabi sa'yo. I hope na sana tapos ka nang kumain, busog ka na at hindi mo na kinakailangan, lumafang habang nire-review itong ating pa-live. Ayan. There, I think kay Roscoe. Thank you, Sir Jason. This was a long live but worth every second. So enlightening and so exciting. So surely, win your hearts, ganyan, eme na. That's it. I think we've covered everything. I hope na sana lahat kayo meron kayong mga tickets na isa para sa mga gustong manood on live on Sunday. When you do have your tickets, please make sure na magbaon kayo ng tubig, magbaon kayo ng refreshments kasi baka hindi siya ganun ka baka maging mahigpit sila later with the going ins and out ng mga pageant fans sa loob ng Araneta Coliseum. Ayan. I think that's about it, everyone. It's been a great pleasure with our live today, tonight pala. And I hope na for those who have missed yung ating pa-live ngayon, please rewatch na lang yung replay niya later on once YouTube has posted it. Yes, there's no runway today. I think yung may something circular on stage. Yun ang nachichi sa akin. I heard na meron na daw nag-post ng mga behind the scenes ng stage. So I haven't seen that yet. So check nyo na lang. Kakalat din naman yan sa social media. I mean, come on, makitest tayong lahat dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya I'm sure meron magpo-post about that. Monspace Manaog says, great analysis as usual. Thank you, Monspace. Ayun. That's it, guys. I'm wrapping this up now. It's already 9. Oh my God, it's almost 11 o'clock here in the Philippines. Sa mga nanonood from Netherlands, in Guam, good day sa inyong lahat dyan. Whatever time zone you are in. And again, see you in our next. Bye-bye, everyone, and good night.